My friends, let us speak today of something that frightens most men, but liberates the few who master it: risk. I tell you plainly, there is no success without boldness, no triumph without the courage to decide, no empire without the willingness to place something on the line. The timid soul waits for certainty. He waits for guarantees, for safety, for proof that his path will succeed before he takes the first step. But while he waits, another, bolder man has already acted, has already built, has already seized the prize. Hesitation is the enemy of fortune. Boldness is its friend. This is not mere rhetoric. It is the very marrow of my life's experience. Allow me to tell you how risk shaped my path and how it can shape yours. In every venture I ever undertook, there came a moment of decision, a moment when hesitation would have destroyed the opportunity. I recall a contract in the early years of my business when iron rails were beginning to give way to steel. The process was uncertain, the costs were high, and the skeptics were many. To stake my resources on steel seemed reckless to some, almost ruinous. But I made the decision swiftly. I believed in progress. I believed in the superiority of steel, and I would not wait for my competitors to act first. That decision, bold, dangerous, and final, changed the course of my life and laid the foundation of an industry. Understand this. It is not only the rightness of a choice that matters, but the courage and speed with which it is made. A poor decision boldly executed often brings more progress than a perfect decision eternally delayed. Most men worship safety. They cling to what they know, to what feels certain. Yet I tell you, safety is an illusion. The man who refuses to risk is not secure. He is merely blind to the risks already surrounding him. The factory worker who depends on a single wage, the merchant who refuses to change with the times, the investor who hides his wealth in idle savings, all imagine themselves safe, yet they are in constant peril from forces they do not control. The man who takes no risks, risks everything. Better by far to choose your risk, to embrace it with open eyes, and to bend it to your purpose. Do not imagine that courage comes fully formed. It is a muscle that grows with use. My early risks were small. As a boy, I took on extra duties at the telegraph office, uncertain if I could manage them. Later, I invested modest sums in ventures others doubted. Each risk taught me something, strengthened my resolve, and prepared me for larger ventures. If you wait to feel ready for great risks, you will never move. Begin with small acts of boldness. Train your spirit to act despite fear. Soon, what once seemed perilous will appear ordinary, and you will be ready for greater stakes. Let me tell you of the countless men I have known who hesitated at the edge of fortune. They studied, they debated, they waited for one more sign, one more assurance, one more day. And while they waited, the chance vanished. Another man, less cautious but more courageous, seized it. They were left with regrets, and regrets are the heaviest burden a man can carry. I say to you, when a decision is required, make it. Do not linger. Hesitation is more dangerous than any risk. But let me draw a distinction. Courage is not recklessness. To leap blindly is folly. The man who risks without thought soon finds ruin. The key is calculated risk. Study the facts. Gather advice from men of wisdom. Understand the danger, prepare yourself as best you can, and then act swiftly, decisively, without looking back. That is the balance, preparation with boldness, knowledge with action. I did not risk all on a whim. I learned, I studied, I observed. But once my conviction was formed, I acted without delay. A leader must be bold not only for himself, but for those who follow. Men will not rally to one who hesitates. They will not give their loyalty to a captain who doubts at the helm. But if a leader makes decisions with courage, others will follow, and their combined strength will often overcome obstacles that seemed insurmountable. I saw this many times. When I moved boldly, my partners, my workers, my investors, all gained courage from my own. Leadership multiplies boldness. Your courage becomes the courage of many. Now let us speak plainly of your own time. How does one cultivate the courage to risk in an age so different from mine? The principle has not changed. You face decisions daily to begin a business or to remain employed by another, to invest in your own skills or to cling to familiar comforts, to speak your ideas or remain silent, to act upon an opportunity or watch it slip away. In each case, the timid man hesitates, the bold man decides, and over time, the difference in results becomes enormous. You do not need to risk ruin, but you must risk growth. Every advance in your life, in wealth, in career, in relationships, will demand that you step beyond certainty into the unknown. What is it that holds most men back from risk? Fear. Fear of loss. Fear of failure. Fear of ridicule. Yet fear is a shadow. It has no substance unless you grant it power. The best cure for fear is action. Each time you act despite fear, the shadow shrinks, until one day it disappears altogether. I was afraid many times. Do not mistake me for a man of iron nerve, but I learned that fear retreats from boldness. Step forward, and you will find the ground firm beneath your feet. Every reward in life is purchased with risk. You cannot have one without the other. Do you wish for wealth? You must risk your time, your capital, your comfort. Do you wish for knowledge? You must risk failure, confusion, and the humbling of ignorance. Do you wish for love or friendship? You must risk rejection, disappointment, vulnerability. The man who avoids risk avoids reward. The man who embraces risk wisely and courageously gains riches of every kind. So, my friends, let me leave you with this truth. The courage to risk is the courage to live. Hesitation steals time, drains energy, and leaves you with nothing but regret. Boldness builds empires, creates wealth, inspires men, and shapes the future. Do not wait for certainty. Do not seek safety. Choose your risk, prepare yourself, and then act with courage. For in the end, it is not the timid who are remembered, but the bold.